talk about our scores, yeah?
Oh yeah. We should give our scores.
Yep. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I'll give you a 7.5. Yes, I like the blend of. I think it's got the right blend of nostalgia and also moving the story forward as well into like the next generation.
Yeah.
And so I was talking to Jeff about this, right? And I was saying that it's a good movie for people who lived in the 80s, who grew up with the Ghostbusters, and who now have children of their own. So they can take them to see this and introduce them to, a new generation of fans. But at the same time, it also appeals to them as well because they grew up with it. So it appeals to both sets of audiences.
I think if they were self-respecting parents of kids and they themselves like Ghostbusters, they should have already shown their kids the original.
Yeah, I know, but like this one, it's got kids as the Ghostbusters, which may appeal more to the kids as well.
Yeah.
So I liked it because of that, like the blend of the old and the new.
Yeah.
So it respects the old, but at the same time, it also forges its own like path forward. So I'll give it a 7.5. I wish they were more screen time from the original characters, but I can see why they chose to have them appear only at the end because they wanted to focus more on the new kids on the block.
Well, since it was going back to the original, I actually did enjoy that they did include the original cast because it's practically the following of that story.
Yeah, it's a sequel. Yeah.
Yeah.
And wow, there's a lot of lightning outside.
Oh yeah.
The thunderstorms have started, haven't they?
Oh, yeah.
I can hear it.
the thunder.
I can hear it.
Oh, we can all hear it.
It started already. It started a while ago for us here, and actually the rain's petering off. It's lightning.
You can all hear it.
They're like, it's getting closer. I know it's been raining for quite a while. It's getting closer.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Yes.
Jono, score. What's your score?
I tend to be a harsh critic. Yes, I give this movie a 5.
Only 5, eh?
It's a decent movie. I wouldn't really consider it a great movie, but it did have a bunch of nostalgia.
Interesting.
For the original fans.
I think for me it's a 7.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed it. And it's quite very nostalgic.
Yeah, but I think the problem with me is I ended up like looking for like all these mistakes, which ended up being part of the story for me. Like, classic movie mistakes here, there, and everywhere.
For me, it's a 7 too. I think it's connect back to the first 2 movies very well, and the reappearance
that was done well. Yeah, the connection.
It's very nice, and it's quite. It's good for the family because talk about relationship with the grandparents, mother, father.
Yeah, intergenerational.
It's really good.
And the tribute to Harold was great.
It was nice. Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, good point. Like the whole family dynamics, that was something I really enjoyed in terms of the mother's worrying about the kid not fitting in or being too good, and then her sense of abandonment, the mystery of the grandfather, but in the end she realizes how much her father did love her. So that was really, really touching. So James, I agree.
I just found out that something very interesting is that for Rotten Tomatoes, Afterlife got a 62 from critics, but the 2016 is higher. However, the audience score is way higher for Afterlife, 95 as opposed to the 49.
That's an interesting inversion. Yeah.
So interestingly, critics actually overall like the 2016 better, and I suppose it's because the fan, maybe. But obviously the audience found this one to be so much better.
score, and just following on with the same comments of the original was so good in terms of the different types of characters and the humor.
Yeah.
There was glimpses, like I said before, there was glimpses of humor in this one, but it had a different perspective. And I totally agree with what James said, where this perspective was more family. The pace was perfect. I actually loved the variety of jokes that Phoebe told. She told a nerdy joke.
The atoms.
Yeah, about atoms.
Being obtuse.
Yes, then she said obtuse. Then she told a dark joke, and that's when she got me, when she said, what do you call a dead polar bear?
Oh, yeah.
You can call it anything. It's dead. It can't harm you. And I went, like that.
You like that one?
That was my favorite joke. And then she had then she had this sad dad joke of, what do you call a fish with no eyes? And I quite like the whale one, where the two whales go, oh, you're drunk? And I went, yeah, that's a good line. But the grasshopper one I could see from a mile away. So so that was the only comedy elements, whereas in the original one, Bill Murray's character, it was just comedic because of him.
Oh, yeah.
Just his delivery as well. I think it's all about delivery.
You could tell that when they came back. This delivery.
The way that he interacted with Gozer, right?
Yeah.
Like his conversation.
And same with how he interacts with all the other characters, whether it was Dana, Sigourney Weaver, his uni students, and his other fellow Ghostbusters. So that's just brilliant. So
yeah, he's just brilliant.
Yeah, like I said, because I'm comparing it to the original, it doesn't rate as highly, but this is certainly not the worst film I've seen this year. I can certainly name worse ones.
Yeah.
I'm giving this maybe 5.5 to 6.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess you could consider this a 2021 movie because it actually is.
It was released last year.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Just in Australia.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.